Hey guys, this is Puggles again. So I'm just doing a little video. I changed my boat build a little bit. For crew, I am leveling up a Master Sailor. It's only a 2.0 base, which isn't amazing, but they're not the worst thing to have. And guild members usually, especially new boaters, sometimes often need those. So I had been running Explorer for a lot, but I switched a couple things around. I put exceptional ores on. My goal is not necessarily to be able to outrun everything. I'm only close to 5.0 speed right now, but the goal for exceptional ores and things of that nature is not necessarily be able to outrun a full-fledged PvP boat, because that's going to be closer to 6.5 speed, but it's going to be to either be able to chase down or outrun another PvM galley. So it's, you don't have to be faster than the PvPers that are going to maybe sweep around, but if you're faster than the other boats that are farming, if you want to chase them down and attack them because you think you can get away with it, you have that option. And if you want to run away, you hopefully are a little faster. So I put Dreadnought on. This just makes me beefy. Combined with luck, I just want to see how much the damage reduction works. Crew damage and crew healing when mixed with delicious rations here. You get really big crew heals. I usually heal for like close to 200, and that's without even adding water aspect on that. Luck's really good one. A lot of people use those on largers. It increases accuracy of normal cannon fire by 33% and reduces enemy accuracy against ship by 33%. So between Dreadnought and Luck, my boat should take very little boat-to-boat cannon damage. If you go back to my first video when I was running a boat build with Explorer and without Luck, and I took a lot more damage. It was a lot of time repairing. So I think with this, I should be able to basically take on a ship of the line or something of that nature without having to repair my ship as much. I will still need to obviously try and make sure I'm keeping my crew alive. So we're in holy armor. Our weapons are aspected the right way. We're going to shift key ourselves to right where we are. Get that nice 9% damage buff. Make sure we eat some food. I'm going to eject and launch. Ready the crew and start spyglassing. There's a jar ship alliance. Let's put on regular accuracy. Switch over to fortune armor. So we have a lot more speed than we did before. It's still good to loop around like this. I'll try and pull this off. I don't see anyone, but you never know if someone has a character hidden, so really always highly recommend trying not to farm a boat in view of shore. Kind of asking for a little bit of trouble if you do. See if you can't pull it away. It really does not seem to want to move. Alright. Well, the good thing is I'm close enough to my dock. If I do see anyone coming out of there, I can probably still get away pretty easily before they launch and have any chance of doing any real damage. So again, I've taken 4 rounds of cannon fire from the boat. Between Luck and Destroyer, between Luck and Dreadnought, I'm still very healthy in terms of my boat's HP. And one other sneaky nice thing about Dreadnought is I love that you get that extra repair to your hull, and that really makes a difference when you're trying to repair your hull up, that you just have that 15% instead of 10%. Doesn't sound like much, but in a battle, in a fight, over the course of an entire run, that extra 5%, it's 2 repairs from 70 to 100 instead of 3, and depending on the loadout you bring, that does make a difference. It doesn't sound huge, but hull is usually what you're focusing on keeping repaired the most. It's a lot of PvPers will focus on your hull, do hull damage to you. So it's just having more hull HP and then being able to repair it faster. It's an undervalued aspect of Dreadnought, I think. Let's keep spyglassing a little bit every now and then. I'm not really using continuous search very much unless I'm doing something specific, like a boss run maybe or something, but I just find it uses too many spyglasses. I only usually travel with 2 or 3. I know some of you probably travel with a lot more than that, so let's try. We'll wait a few seconds for a harvest buff. 14 seconds. The nice thing is the guild procced guild put on a 2 times harvest yield, so hopefully we see a lot of colored leather, a lot of rare leather, and hopefully in large volumes. Let's see, it's 30. So probably wait for my cannons to finish reloading, and we'll probably just, it won't sync on that, but I think 1 cannon, 1300, that's 2 cannons. I always get impatient because I hate sitting around still on a boat, so we're just gonna jump over, drop a bomb. That'll definitely sink it so we get to sail off. Start organizing these a little bit. So there's 1 boat, 700 regular leather, 87 rose hide, and 126 golden hide is not bad. Start. Put this back to accuracy. Make sure we're back in the preferred armor type. So yeah, I mean I could repair these off. I think I'm still in my combat, but it's kind of like an over heal. 20% heal, just it sails to repair 12% damage. Seems a little bit of a waste. So I'm out of combat now, so I could, but I don't need to. I think part of my focus here is to show Dreadnought has that damage, between luck and Dreadnought. Delicious rations in Dreadnought. I'm doing a lot less damage to my boat. I have a lot more crew healing. I have a lot more repair. So we're going to focus on showing that aspect of it. I think my biggest thing with upgrades, and I was kind of trying to figure out the way to say this in a way that would hopefully make sense and resonate with people. You should be able to tell yourself a story. Outfits you can swap up, specialty items, crew supplies. If you have an auxiliary item that you want to be able to use, you should just make sure your upgrades are telling a story, that you can explain to yourself how one of them is helping the other, how they support each other in a sensible way. You don't want to throw on Explorer and then run something that has nothing that benefits off Explorer. So if I'm running Explorer like Merchant, I can, but I probably want to be running Tavern Connections or Storage Locker, something that's going to increase my dubs and gold looted from that boat. If I'm running Destroyer, do I want to be running Blast Furnace, so that I get a lot more cannon reduction, a lot more cannon damage. My boat, between my boat and my chain, I already have a lot of ship cannon damage beyond already having a boat with inherently good ship cannon. So I'm happy to not run Destroyer because I don't feel that I really need to. I do enough damage. I board pretty easily. I kill pretty quickly, so that aspect of it I'm not worried about. If Destroyer had a good speed component to it, which it doesn't, I might be more ready to run it for that. So that's I think the biggest thing with a lot of the abilities, the damage abilities, you are going to have sort of a similar special powder keg, just that strong right now. You get multiple cannon fires out of one special powder keg, so that's really just such a good ability. But in terms of your outfit, if you want to run a low wake build, obviously you're gonna have your specialty item and your outfit probably focusing more towards wake as well as your crew. So there's no right or wrong way. I don't think there's a specific grouping of those abilities that you have to run, as long as they support each other, as long as they make sense on what they're doing together. I think you can really run anything you want. At some point, my focus in the future, there was a great video done by Pwnstar with, I think, My Alter Ego. That was kind of just like a how-to basic guide for boating. At some point, as I hopefully figure out a little bit more of how to make videos, these are still pretty raw, I will try and attempt to basically modernize that video for the current current meta of boating, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Switch to water aspect, see how much we heal that guy for. I don't even really need to repair it, but I will. Just because. There's nothing around us, so I'm just going to use my shoot hand. So I healed for 248 with water aspect on. And then he's ticking for another 9. Alright, one more to the hull, and that will go to server. Sorry, that's very, very annoying. Just put myself back together. Well, if you think with fiber internet you wouldn't have that issue, but all these silly hotbars. Let's just sync that and keep going. Sorry if you hear the sound in the background, I'm just drinking some tea and water. It is pretty early in the morning here. I went to sleep pretty early last night, so I woke up earlier. At some point my son might wake up and I'll have to end the video pretty quickly when that happens, because he will take priority. Let's take a look. So again, the boats that don't attack me, I tend to start like this because usually they turn and that gives you a little bit of a head start before they shoot back at you. Again, with luck, I'll take less damage overall. And with my exceptional ores and 2 crew that are speed, it makes it a little easier to do those little loop-de-loops if I fight I got enough cannon damage into them already. No, can't. We'll get one more shot off. And then board. Let's see, so I'm only taking 20% damage. A brief disconnection there, which is frustrating, but it happens. Again, you think with fiber internet, I don't know if it's even me or if it's something to do with my home mesh network causing it. So even in Fortune Armor, I'm still healing my crew for 180 to 200 probably per 196. It's just makes it, that's delicious rations and the crew healing component of Destroyer working together, and then I have one medic that also gives me a pretty good bump to my crew healing. So between those three aspects and components, I do quite a lot of crew healing. Now, I did test this out by myself earlier. I did actually end up fighting a druidic ship of the line, I think it was, and still managed to lose 3 of my crew. I wasn't terribly thrilled about that. I think I lagged out for a second. I should cancel that bomb. I'm going to repair. Let's drop some gold on the ground so we're not overloaded. Those 2. If we want to, we can clean that up later. Jump over, drop a bomb while we're still repairing, and I can probably, I know I can, but I probably will just get a second repair off here. Finish the society. That society is always pretty easy just because you're almost always just adding to that number a couple ship of the lines or any big boats and you pretty much finish it. So right now we're at 2,638. Some good mother. So I'm going to drop this initial bag here into my hold. I'm going to start a new loot bag. That way I have my first bag is already there. It's organized. I can dump stuff into it to keep myself from getting too heavy. And when I dock, it's just one pouch that I have to shift gate or gate out. It's pretty simple. The only thing is I try and keep most of my cores and the good stuff in my active bag in case I get attacked and have to sail near land and jump off. I don't want to give you hate giving a nice, neat loot bag to someone that kills you, but I'm still going to pop Luck because Luck and Bone Shot have the same cooldown. They're both lesser abilities. We did a lot of damage with that already. So I'm going to put it on sails so that I don't end up over damaging it. The same run when I lost a crew earlier, I accidentally sunk a ship of the line because I used one too many ability. I can probably board pretty easily right now. I'm going to do one more attack just to bring it down so that it's one bomb so that I don't I took grenade damage. I hate when I do grenades. Alright, so that's easily one easy bomb to sink this. Now we just try and dodge the silly nets so that we don't get stuck and rooted and can't attack. I think the biggest difference between this and the Explorer build that I was running earlier is I'm curious to see how much the tidings really affects how much crew I get, and I'm curious to see, how much less damage I take, if it's noticeable. So the first video that I posted, you will be able to see if, my Explorer build, so you can see if I, pretty quickly, I mean, you don't have to watch the whole video, you can just watch the attack to board section to see how bad the boat gets hurt, and then balance that against watch this video and see how much different. I mean, grenades usually took my boat down to like here, so I probably took about half the damage of those grenades that I would have in Explorer. And the other nice thing is, again, Dreadnought, I can repair my boat at a much faster clip. With extra 5%. So we're only at 78.5, 15%. That'll bring us up to like 93%, 0.5%. So I'm not going to try and get 2 repairs off. That's kind of overkill. There, 1 repair and 3.5%. If I was still an explorer, I probably would have used 2 repairs there instead of 1. And that's just, I would have gone back, I would have done 2 repair, jumped back over, bombed, dropped back over, let the repair finish, and then started the second repair. So it's less boarding rope I had to use. I have 33 boarding ropes, 54 repair kits, 476 cannon shot, and 25 bombs on me still. So I'm still have plenty to do, but managing those resources, managing your spyglasses uses, just trying to manage all those different things so that you're not wasting them unnecessarily will absolutely speed up and improve your overall farm. South and southwest. Let's go just straight south. And let's go southwest, do the worst ship of the line. Keep an eye out on my crew here. So nice thing with masters, heroics and legendaries are so much harder because they just take so many more booty to level up. So hopefully by the time he's ready to level up, I will have actually farmed enough booty to just level him up. If it's the early levels of a crew, I usually try and carry some with me when I launch. Or if it's a heroic or legendary that I'm leveling, then I definitely know I have to carry some with me. Taking a lot of damage there. So again, luck makes them have less accuracy on me, but being able to just do a little strafe around will even lower their ability to hit me. And because I have 2 crew with some movement speed and exceptional oars, I'm fast enough that I'm able to really pull that maneuver out. I have 1 use of special pattern kite left, or before the timer. So I'm going to try and I might be able to board here. No. So we're going to stand here. I don't think they have any shot left. No, so they're reloading their guns, so I don't have to move. Just focus on the sails and try and get them down to being boardable. And there, we've boarded them before they've done any more cannon damage to us. I'm going to pull up my boats so I can get 2 heals and I'll be pretty much right back to full. So keep trying to keep my crew up. My AoE heals nice, it just heals any damage you may have taken incidentally. Find this guy. I'm just trying to whittle them down. So I think what I'm going to do here now, how long do I have to wait? 7 seconds, right? To hold them. So because I looked at my boat earlier, 20% on gun damage, repair it, 15 for that, so I can repair those both up to 100. So in order to get 2 repairs off instead of the 1, I'm going to let this item queue finish up. Reload my cannons. I'm going to start repairing my hull. I'm going to leave my ship crew here, drop bomb, jump back over. Get the second repair off. I could jump back over and drop another bomb, but I think that's 2 or 3 cannon shots, so I'll waste the cannons. Let me switch to water aspect and heal up Yolanda. I got 2 shots. And, I have 8 cannons left, so I'm not going to reload it because there's another Druid longship right here. These guys can be a little feisty. I've got all my abilities back up, which is nice. So it's over here. So I am going to show the mechanic I talked about a lot of doing this little loopy-loop. So fungaloids are a pain. Actually, everything on this boat is a pain. Lichnids, I think, have this kind of like direct damage ability that they kind of like root you and do damage. So the reason I am doing this is Cleanse by Fire is always good to have active. As you see all this like stuff on my screen that's hitting the water there, that means it's not hitting my boat, which means these fungaloids and druidic crew are not poisoning my crew. And there's a lot of them on that boat, so they will poison pretty quickly. So the goal is to try and avoid having to heal my crew through all that poison. Unless you cure them. I mean, it's probably easier for a mage if you have Arch Cure or something, you can just AoE cure them. But for a Puna with Bandage, it can be a pain in the tuchus to try and keep them. So I know it's already boardable. I've taken almost no damage because between luck and being in Dreadnought. So we're gonna go ahead and board this, and I might have to jump off. We'll see what happens to my crew. And I'm trying to keep them up, constantly trying to find them, heal them, while trying to reduce the amount of damage. Something's wrong. This is not actually a problem, but because somehow my pouch wasn't clicking properly, I was not able to use my cure potions, and that was becoming a very quick problem there. I was like, I know I haven't healed that many times or cured that many times. I'm like, why am I not using cure pots right now? And that was why. Close that, so let's always make sure you have your spyglass screen up, because you just want to know what's around you. I got a little sidetracked there. Again, this wasn't clean. My disconnect made that so that my potion satchel wasn't open. My game was not seeing what was in my potion satchel. And therefore I was not able to. Why is this stuff taking so long to kill? This is terrible. I don't think I properly dropped gold after the last boat because I was distracting myself. My crew took a lot of damage. I think for the sake of this video, let me just see. I don't see anything I really have to worry about. So I'm going to do some... My normal instinct here would just be to put myself into water aspect and heal my crew manually. But for the sake of the video, I want to show a different option. So I'm going to drop a bomb. I'm just going to repair my sails, and then I'm going to use rally. And boom. Between crew delicious rations for my crew healing, between the crew healing I have from my medic and from destroyer, Cam was the only one that didn't heal to 100%. And they were all pretty banged up. Now, the other reason I did that, as I said, I usually wouldn't have done that. Let's go back to fortune. Let's dump some of these. So I have this North Ship of the Line here. So the reason I want to do this is I want to show, or test at least, that if I use luck and bone shot and then flat cannons, can I board a ship of the line? If not, I'll just kind of have to sit there and take some damage while I hit with regular cannon fire because I used my ability that was on my regular. So let's test this out. That was the second part of why I used the rally there, is to see what we can do here in terms of boarding a ship of the line in an effective manner. Alright, so it's taking a decent amount. It's at 70%. Make sure I don't die. So I'm going to cheat here because I have extra accuracy. Let's see if I can't flak with its target on sails. How low that brings it down. Alright, it's at 38%. And again, this is why I wanted to try destroyers. Between destroyer and luck, we've taken very little damage overall. For some reason, nothing seems to be tanking for me. My crew are just letting them all hit me. I don't actually know if luck works with flak cannons in terms of making you do more damage or accuracy, but I know it reduces their accuracy, and that combined with anything else makes you that much stronger. And their cannons are already down. They have to reload. I'm on them. And now we just start cleanup process. I always try and target crew that are like kind of 50% or below. The goal just being you're more likely to unleash a salvo finisher, and you want as many of those as you possibly can get. Every one of those is just that much faster to clear a boat. The only time I don't do that, obviously, is if I'm on a demon ship or a druidic ship. Those ones I have specific mobs I want to get out of the way first because they do AoE things that really hurt my crew. And just keep healing the crew because they're tanking all the damage. I'm taking no damage now that I've boarded, and they're really actually engaging the enemy NPCs. Got another salvo off in there. That's why we suddenly hear 3 mobs die. Switch to harvest. Shadow always manages to... I know there's that slightly more purplish glow to Aberhide, but I always get my hopes up for a second. That's nice. I think that one AoE. Drop the bomb. Back over. Let's see. So it wasn't clean. I was hoping my flat cannon and bone shot combo would do a little bit more damage than it did, but still, I could have gotten. I can use my combat repair, but one repair worth of hull damage from a ship of the line, and it got 5 full cannon barrages off on me. I think is a pretty good outcome for that damage reduction test. I haven't done as many books as I feel like I should have. Let's sail around a little bit more. This pirate ship of the line. So I think what luck really does well, because again, let's look at the details here. Luck, info. Let's close this. Increase the amount of normal cannon fire, so it shouldn't affect anything to do with bone shot or flat cannon, but when you use it with special powder keg, because again, special powder keg is simply affecting your normal cannon fire, that's when it really shines. So just bone shot to initiate the damage on it. I'm not even going to just bother to peel off on this one, I'm just going to go straight into him. Special powder keg. Just because I want to see without even moving how much damage my boat will take from the ship along. This is a beefy ship of the line. It's got 8,000 sail HP and 9,500 hull HP. So the fact that we've gotten it down to 34%. Oh crap! I meant to put that on sails, not on the hull. I do enough hull damage already. I don't want to focus on the hull. See if I can board. That was a lucky board. I probably should have failed that, but I'll take it. So they've lost 7,000. They've lost 2,000. Oz was up here taking damage, so let's run up here. So I'm curious now. So we're at 74. So those two will heal up. So I need to get 4 repairs off on my boat essentially to bring it right back up to 100% or close to, which isn't too bad. Just keep spying lasting, so we'll probably go to this tight collar ship line next. And my carry capacity, so let's try and let's drop that there, move that. that on my cursor, and now we drop it on the hull. And that way we don't have to go back over for that. Reload my guns. Top off all these crew. So my hull's already at 99% in 2. I only need to get one of each. So jump properly. Do that quickly. And there we go. Four repairs, everything is back up. We're pretty topped off. We're already sailing on towards our next ship line prey. Off. One's hiding it. Drop off this leather in here. And just drop off some of the potentially heavier magic items and stuff. I'm not too fussed over. Put it back on accuracy. Let's try and do 2 things at once. I actually hit my special powder kicks there as well, so they're already active. So we'll probably potentially lose 1 shot on those, but we'll see if we even need it. I mean, that sails have already taken a massive amount of damage. I mean, the last ship of the line, that pirate ship line, had 9,500 damage. So I think my feeling has always been that different boats, that NPC boats automatically start with some random configuration of basic abilities. So I think the pirate ship line that we're on probably had some like Dreadnought on it itself. That would explain the extra hull HP, everything of that nature. This one should be boardable here, so make sure I get my repair heal off on myself before I go over. It's at 9%. There we go. Fortune. I think I'm still in water. Yeah, I'm still in water because I'm getting XP towards it, so. It's not the end of the world. It never hurts to get aspect XP. Back into fortune. Water is also actually quite good. It gives you a lot of healing, and then it also, I think, helps you with your finisher chance cooldown or something. Alright, so that was a Tide Caller ship line, and that thing melted. I'm just going to bother repair my guns. It's hard between Fortune Aspect and Ship of the Lines. You just get so much gold and doubloons off of them that you get so overweight so quickly. Let's refresh my food buff now. Tell you one thing, I mean, I think my first video I did with Explorer definitely saw a little bit more dubs, I think, and definitely saw a little bit more crew contracts. But obviously, I mean, no matter what we do, that's always going to be a bit of an RNG So it's whether or not I would have gotten 3 crew using Explorer or not, I just don't know the answer to that. Part of the reason I'm doing these videos is, you get that kind of look back on it and see if you really felt that there was a difference or not. So like with the Fungaloids and the Demon Longship, I think it was the Demon Longship that we fought earlier, I'm going to keep strafing on these ones because every time you see that blood explosion there, that's the AoE bleed from the Blood Feasters. And I don't want them to hit my crew because then they'll have less bleed stacks, and when I board they won't take as much damage. For pure PVM, something you can use instead of luck is Hold Fast. Hold Fast will decrease the amount of damage your crew takes, so that's something you kind of want to pop later in the fight, like before you board instead of like I am at the beginning of the fight. Let's jump over if we can. Always take out the Feasters first while making sure you don't take too much damage. I don't usually pop a potion like I just did, but for the sake of this, I just want to try and be as safe as I can be. These Blood Feasters are taking annoyingly long to die. And we might end up actually, I think, losing a crew here. I'm worried about either Cam or Natasha going down. Let's see if we can get this last Feaster down now. Trying to use my Shiv heal. Trying to use a heal push on myself there. Whew, that was lucky. Again, Void Armor, and I won't have to worry about my own health as much. I'll also get magic resist against the demon when it casts like a chain lightning or something, but I'm just going to keep it in fortune because I want that special rare loot chance and I want the extra gold, so it's a calculated risk. Worst case scenario, I have to recall back to my boat, but I'm just trying to explain the concept or thought process behind that risk. Alright, let's dump some of this gold again. Guys, maybe be able to do this. Can. So, because I'm using Without Borders, I get extra range, so I can actually heal across the boat there while I'm picking up items. Let's see, I can either heal. I can heal. In theory, I could have gone back and healed both, but I'm not too worried at this point. I'm close enough to docks. I know where I am. I know where I need to go. Let's see if we've gotten enough to upgrade him. Not quite enough. I have 12. Let's check in our... Trying to see if I got any booty earlier in the... One easy way is if I drop this in here, it'll show up. Double click that, pull it back. And now I have 28 booty. So yeah, I had some in there already. Just going in southwest and follow and upgrade crew member. I'll clear the fray, so I'm gonna just bring those up. Dropping off the heavy stuff. So that's the trick. See, if I try and pick up anything in my hull, it just glitches out. If I drop an item, a stackable item, on top of my that into my hold, and then try and pull it out, it frees up the item. Whatever is causing the item to not be liftable, you can then lift it. So like if you try and pull dubs out while you're moving, you can't, but if you put a stack of dubs in and then try and move them, you will be able to move them. So I'm still in water aspect because I didn't heal earlier. But there we go, my medic just procced his first aid and Yolanda was reborn. And again, this is a Norse galley, same size boat as mine, and barely taking any damage. Shoot a little board here. Switch back to fortune if we can. I had that lightning proc. Even with my reducing the overall aspect of what my weapon is, I still proc a decent amount. There we go. Open the hull just to see if I proc anything on the loot in there. Switch to harvest. Get all this. I don't really even need to repair, but always like to keep things close to being topped off. Not really fussed to bother with a medium drow ship. I'm trying to find some bigger prey here. Maybe we'll go over server line for a quick jolt, see if there's anything over there. Hopefully I don't suddenly cross over and find 6 people farming and get attacked. But we haven't farmed. I mean, we've done some good farm, but I mean, it still hasn't been that crazy in terms of output. So dubs are less my concern. You know, it's more. 5 million more to ocean, so that's more the focus of what I'm trying to look at. Is, you know, if I did lose these dubs, I'm not super fussed about it. I have just put like 3 million dubs up for sale on a vendor just because at this point I don't really have much else to spend them on. I've got 8 or 9 echoes unlocked. I've got my shoulder parrot for 15 million dubs here. What else am I going to do with them? So it's more the crew contracts and things that I really would be upset about losing, but one of them is not enough to deter me from continuing to farm. Just pull off a little bit, but I feel like if you're doing this strafing aspect, it also lets your crew pick up the aggro of the other mobs a little bit better. I don't know why. Again, their boat is getting chunked down pretty healthily, and I am taking 0 damage. Use my noble light just to make sure. Do some damage and just heal that little bit that I had taken so that I didn't have to stop healing my crew. One thing I've noticed is, when I use the Noble Light. So when you're moving, last target doesn't seem to work on your crew. If you're healing the same crew, you kind of have to keep clicking the nameplate while you're moving. But while you're stationary, obviously last target seems to work better. So I was able to just last target the last crew member I was healing and just keep applying another heals on them. When this comes back up and I only have 1 or 2 mobs left, I always usually do Buoy. It's not a good heal, but I feel like, if I remember correctly, I think it's like a 5% heal of your crew HP. I don't even know if it works, but I don't need to use another salvo or scourge there, so I'm just going to try and do whatever I can to just mitigate having to heal. Yeah, never switch back to fortune, so we're still on our rest. That happens to me more than I'd like to admit with the swapping between aspects. Just make sure we didn't lose any. I didn't see how much who got the heal there, but they usually heal for quite a lot of HP. Don't even need to bother healing anything. I can just repair. Oh. Yeah, that was silly of me. I was too close to the boat where the bomb was, and it attacked. My crew took some damage, and then they just will hit you one shot, one attack. They'll just knock you with it. Fishing Galleon North. So I know our guild island's just here, so I'm not afraid to still sail out a little bit. I'm close enough to the Circle Line, I'm close enough to a safe dock. Pierce, and I can heal cams. I think there is probably a script somewhere that'll dump some of this stuff in here. Anyway. Use luck, use my lone shot. I got hit in the net, so I won't actually be able to attack with my harpoon, but I can still heal my crew. Funny thought here, they have no cannons, they have no guns. I think it actually might affect the, still affect the damage they do from their grenades ability when they use it. So it probably still has some effect, but let's switch to sails for this last one. Now we should be able to board cruising. So another reason I do that circular strafing is usually I will end up coming at one side, then I'll come from my other side, so I end up, my cannons don't all use from one side. So I always have a little bit of cannons up on both sides, but with Fisherman, because I want to stay in that crisscross the T pattern here alongside the prow, that way they're less likely to use the grenade's ability on you. So for Fishermen are the one where I won't switch around sides as much, and I'll just sit there and just straight up fire. Got some skewers off, so 2 bombs were taking damage. Their spyglass. Part of me does want to see what, and I'm sure it'll happen eventually, what this boat will do with Dreadnought and a little bit of speed in an actual boat-to-boat fight. So there's a second lane, don't forget to really click to see if I got a benefit of a heal from that. But they didn't take too much damage, and my medic should be proccing a heal soon. It's every 30 seconds. My hull up to full there. Just dropping off some of the bigger items, the heavier things. I'll sail up here. That missed most of its first cannon fire. I'm on sails, and I want to be back on accuracy. And back into fortune. I'm gonna stay unfortunate for a second. I think maybe I'll switch to Void, just to showcase what Void does in a fight like this. I'll have to wait for the cooldown. Trying to miss some of those. I'm less worried about the cannon fire. The reason I started strafing there was to try to avoid those blood things that stack a bleed. It's about 11, 10. For me, I can just use that cleanse wounds or whatever it is from Chivalry, and I'll take less damage, but my crew. So Void Aspect Armor, Spell Siphon active. So I don't have a spell magic resist because my Void is active. I now have, I think, 30 points or something into magic resist. Plus I get that stam heal and HP. So if I get to 50% HP, I will instantly heal up. That means I can focus on healing my crew a little bit more. And the other thing that's nice about Void is you do get that armor pen. So I'm taking damage here. I don't like it. And the Blood Feaster's dead. So you get an armor pen. So melee damage, ignore armor from Void. And I have full links of armor pen, or I'm calling it armor pen, that's melee damage, ignore armor. So Void, aspect overview. So you get armor rainbows, auto stats, that's always nice for blood, for demon ships. Chance to ignore armor and resist. 70% plus I have. Melee damage, ignore armor gold links of 33%, so I'm basically ignoring armor and then effective parrying is 34. So that 34 does give me a little bit of a chance to get the Spell Siphon. That's just Void's a very good armor for dealing with demon ships. Is the long and the short of it, because you are getting the heals, you are taking less damage, you are doing, you're ignoring more of the big beefy armor. In theory, it would be good for a hive ship too, where they have a lot of armor. And I think Void is generally one of my favorite armors for the ocean. I think it's really underrated. It's really good. If you have armor ignore links already, and then you have Void, you're just hitting pure damage. Let's cross this line. Grab it from one punch there. Clear at the fray. I don't really feel like any of that needs to worry about the repair. So maybe we'll just do this. I don't know if I'm going to make it across the server line. Probably do this. Maybe we'll go after that Submerged Gallon and maybe head in from there. Hit my luck. Hit the bone shot. It's not turned yet, so it's not. There we go. Now it's firing. Because it's a ship of the line, it took that much longer for it to turn. It was that much further away, so it was pretty easy to, I think, reduce most of the cannon damage I took. I just feel pretty confident right now just to be able to stand here and tank this ship of the line without having to run around too much. Change my armor before I get a weapon proc and have that cooldown. Touch. As you've noticed, I've barely been using my flat cannons at all. So if I need to, I can always use them as a last ability to board something like this, but I probably would end up sinking it. Just rotate around. Their boat has no more cannon shot. You have to wait. Load. I should be able to board. Marines have more HP or armor, I'm not sure which it is, than sailors. One thing that to make note of, just it might be helpful, some people might not see this. If you see I've clicked Pierce, he's the only one of my crew members where I see his little green bar below his feet. I see the gray bar here of the mob I'm attacking, but then I see a green bar here none of my other crew do. So if you're ever trying on your boat to figure out where the crew member that you want to heal is, and you don't see the mess of nameplates, if you click, you'll see there, Osmond is now getting healed, and he's here instead of Pierce being there. So that little green bar below their feet when you're trying to heal them identifies where they are. So switch again, there's Pierce is down there. Just when you're running around on a demon ship of the line, trying to mitigate getting poison, damage and poisons from druids or whatever it is, being able to see where your crew member is helpful. So we went down to 50, so we actually took some decent damage on that, but We'll heal it up pretty quickly. Medic just healed something. I think he healed himself. It's Pierce, I think. Pilgrims are better, I think, overall than medics because their heals hit everyone. Medics will cast one heal on one crew for more overall HP than a pilgrim will, but at the end of the day, they will target any crew member that has damage. So if one of your crew's sitting at 20% HP and the other one's at 99% HP, it might heal the one that has 99% HP. So you just kind of gotta hope it chooses the right target so you get the optimal heal, but at the end of the day, I can always just heal myself. I'm gonna let this bandage finish, jump over, and drop a bomb, because I'm not super worried about I'll be able to get the heal off for the... I say heal when I heal my boat, but it's repair on my guns. It started, and then that sinks. Crew's already pretty much healed back up. That was only, I think, 5 repairs used to get my boat from 57% hull HP, and repair my cannons and my hull, or cannons and guns as well, getting them up to pretty good heal. With Explorer, that would have been a lot more repair kits used. Main things I try and move over, like drums, I think, are like heavier for some reason. Two-handed stave weapons always seem to be heavier. I don't usually loot magic regs because regions because I don't need them, but anything like that I could just offload off my backpack, I try and keep it to the low 200s because that way I know when I'm bored and kill everything, I should be able to loot all the loot in one run. Just keep looting while we're killing. It takes less time at the end once everything's dead. I can use this even though my item Q drop was active. I was taking a little bit of damage, so chivalry abilities do not respond to the item Q, or your bandage will, so I couldn't use a band-aid right then, so I just used a quick shift heal on myself. Alright, I'm gonna do... Let's see if I can make it all the way here. Oh, so close. Switch to wood armor. This is the other trick we do. Drop the gold. Nothing embarrassing there. Just put the gold in the hole. Grab the items. Move the gold. Grab the booty. Drop the bomb. Hold it on my cursor, come back here, and drop it on my ship. Should have done that earlier, I was wasting time, I don't know why. Four out of 5 NPC guns. I think the hardest society, this one's like just complete randomness. I didn't even take it this. When you get the paragons, like 3 paragons, you either see 0 paragons the entire week, or you've done that achievement in the first 3 days. I'm sure most people will just get on a large and they sort of skim boats and just get on a speed large and just sail right past as many boats as they can until they see a paragon. I know I posted a video of I was on a medium fishing boat and I happened to see an Orc Reaver, ship of the line, paragon, and decided to try and sink it. And I was actually able to. It took a while to do it. But I did manage to make a video. There's no audio on it, but if you want to see the video of his... Where'd this guy go? Oh, there he is. So there was a... Oh. Hey, we got Anakin. Should I board him quickly, send all his, yield his salvage to myself, and then sail away? No, I won't do that. So, Anakin, you made it into the video. So I should cast a spell, so I'll take more damage because I momentarily had my harpoons. So cut him off so he doesn't steal too far. I sent Anakin a message telling me I made it into the video. Didn't tell him the part where I was discussing whether or not to board him and try and yield his salvage to myself. So there's something, especially if PvP gets hot again to where it was, like with the sweeps and everything for Mega, is you can board a friendly NPC boat and yield its salvage to you. Especially in a PvP situation, the best I've ever seen is Leo, our guildmaster. I was surrounded, I think, by 4 or 5 Mega boats. And not like new boaters, these were some of their top people. He came in on his longboat, jumped over to my boat that was about to sink. I was dead, I was getting looted. He jumped over to my boat, yielded the salvage from my boat to his boat, and then jumped back and managed to sail away and avoid getting taken down. So they sunk me, they got my loot off my boat, but they got none of my upgrades because he managed to just pull an absolutely beautiful sweep, or I guess not sweep, but a drive-by yielding, I guess is what we'll call that move. I think he may have gotten it on video. We'll see if I can get it and share it. But everything's dying so fast, all these loot bars just keep popping up. I have to chop loot. I don't think I dropped enough between the last boat and this boat, which is why. Sometimes the hulls you have to click here, not where it usually is, you have to click where the graphic is. Or you can go into items and click hatch here. Let's defuse that bomb. Let's repair up because we're probably close to going in right now. So this repair will bring us up to 95%, which I'm happy with. I just try and keep it over like 90%. I don't I'm not going to use another one on my hull to get it up to like 100%. 95 is as close as I need it to be to full. Let's reload my cannons. I should have done that earlier. Just distracted talking. While that bomb's ticking to 1, I can still get another repairer. And it didn't go down. Alright, let's... 141. Come on. There should be a grace period with this. Anything sub, let's say 300 HP should just not count. It should just be on in sync. A few seconds, 1 second, and it's dead. So as you see, I've got all these doubloons, 7,000, 7,000, 15,000, 700, 23,000. So what I can do, because that's all added onto here, so this has been a 200 and, I don't know, 90k, 300k maybe run. For the sake of the video, when I get to dock, I will rotate my ship quickly, drag all those, pile them up, and then drag them to my hatch just so we can see what the overall dubs farmed. But what I why I drop them like this is 2 reasons. Oh, there's a Greek galleon to my northwest. You know what? I wanted to see what this boat will do in PvP. So we're going to go start a fight. Let's just get a heal off. I should be faster than him. I should be able to catch him. And I only have 300,000 doves on the line, so let's see if he even sees me yet. He's not on a boat. What the? He is actually fast, so... Dang it, I can't catch him. I was not expecting an instantaneous ram there. That was a little annoying. It took enough of my HP down. Alright. So, I had more speed, but he also apparently was running a speed galley, so I was not going to catch him, so I might as well just... Adieu, adieu. We'll have to find another fight another day. But at least we found some easy loot. But I will keep spyglassing just in case he comes back. This is one of those times where I might, I'll put continuous search on just for that. Well, and my son just came down, so you might hear him in the background for a little bit, but that means that we are definitely going to go and dock after this. HP up here. Yeah, for that, considering I just chased him off, and I know there's a Grey Galley, I will sacrifice the spyglass to make sure that I know exactly if and when he decides to come back. Send my crew over so I don't have to run through them. Let's drop the gold in here. Cappy! Sorry, my dog is trying to bother my son. My dog's excited, my son less so. They were fighting, so I had to put it into that. Let's see, just man, I should have stolen Anakin's loot. He got a legendary sea dog. Not great, but yeah. Give me a second, buddy. I'll help you out. Okay.
A new update is today. It's 2 hours.
Alright, so we'll clear the fray. We don't need much, but we will repair. So I'm going to do another run or two of this, see if I feel like the tidings, the difference in tidings, because I mean, we did almost 300k dubs, and we only got one crew, which is not great. Sorry, my son's chattering in the background, so... The only thing I'm kind of curious about, let's see where we are on that. Curious just to see, I can do this while we're doing, because I'm going to end the video in a second, is... How much leather did we get? Almost 17,000 leather, 87 rose hide, 126 golden hide, 132 dull hide, 309 copper hide. Who's that? We've got some sin. So that was what I was curious about, is just seeing how much leather we got. 371 shadow hide. There's Archer's the one I'm looking for. Oh, here we go. Caitlin's what I'm looking for. And we're all repaired up. So what I can do is just do a little shimmy. That will, now all these items I can stack. So either way, I don't need to do this, I'm just doing this for the sake of the video. If I was to dock my boat right now, all of these would just land at my feet, even though they're currently just sitting on the deck of the ship. So I'm not losing these if I don't drag them, I'm just dragging them for the sake of the video, for the photo. It is kind of crazy just seeing that there's, you know, as much as I farmed in my haul, there's another 100k gold just sitting on my haul there. So yeah, 320k dubs. We're gonna end the video there. I have to do a little bit of editing because I want to see the login page. And we got 17,000 leather. So hope that helps, and we'll see you soon.